you enter the game at Mississippi State?
Well, the big emphasis for us is to try to play with a little bit more consistency, both sides of the ball and special teams, and it's going to take that kind of execution and discipline, playing in a tough place like Starkville, SEC game on the road. You know, they're very physical and aggressive on both sides of the ball, and got a great quarterback and a very talented offensive players, good runner, so this is going to be a tremendous challenge for us.
For questions, press 1-0, and we'll begin with Kennington Smith of The Athletic.
Good morning, Coach. Hope you're doing well. Kool-Aid mentioned that whether cornerbacks like it or not, being physical in the run game is a part of playing defensive back at Alabama. How do you go about getting young cornerbacks acclimated to the physicality needed? And, you know, how did you see him, Terry, on some of your other secondary starters adjust as they came through the program?
Well, I think, you know, that's just a part of the mindset that, you know, sometimes corners think they're cover guys first, but, you know, with all the perimeter runs that you see in college football, whether it's advantage throws or, you know, people running, you know, sweeps on the perimeter, double cracking people, you got to be able to crack replace. And, you know, one of the three elements of being a good player in the secondary is, hey, you got to play man-to-man, you got to play in the ball in the deep part of the field, but you also got to be a good tackler. So this is something that, you know, we emphasize early and often in the guy's development in his career, and I think our guys have done a pretty decent job of that so far.
Next is Mike Rodak of 24/7 Sports.
When you scored a touchdown in the third quarter and went up 15-7, that was 8 points. Ended up going for 2 there, which is a little bit unusual. What was the decision-making process in that?
Well, some people think it's unusual. Some people don't. We always make a decision before the game starts. At what point in the game will we go for 2? And, you know, middle to late in the third quarter and fourth quarter is kind of what our philosophy was going into that game. So that's exactly what we did.
Next to be Steve Moulton of WZZN.
Coach, always appreciate the time here that you give us. I wanted to ask in particular about the offensive growth that you saw in the second half. What impressed you most about your offense in the second half against Ole Miss, Coach?
Well, I think we executed better. I think the offensive line, you know, kind of controlled the line of scrimmage a little bit better, so we had a little bit better balance run and pass. And, you know, we didn't shoot ourselves in the foot nearly as much as we did in the first half. So, and I think that's the thing we want to eliminate. You know, everybody needs to understand, okay, this play worked and why. All right, this play didn't work and why. And try to, you know, build on the opportunities to teach and for players to learn that to get good execution, we got to do it every play.
If you could also speak on, I realize he's only a sophomore, but Jaheim Otis and his development and how important he is on your D-line, Coach.
Yeah, he's a good player. He's played very well for us. He's got a great attitude. He works hard in practice. You know, he's become a better pass rusher. We played him at nose last year, and this year we're playing more at, you know, 3, 4, and 5 technique, and he's adapted well to it and done extremely well.
Thank you, Coach.
Next is Bob Holt of the Arkansas Democrat-Gazette.
Hey, Nick, how you doing? Hey, KJ Jefferson, he's tied Matt Jones for Arkansas's record for touchdowns, passing, and rushing by a quarterback. I think you're probably the only coach left who coached against both of them as a head coach anyway. I was wondering maybe, I know it's a lot of left field, but what do you remember about Matt, and what do you think about KJ tying his record? Now he's on the verge of breaking it now. Maybe what kind of player KJ is?
Well, I think, you know, KJ, I watched a little bit of the game last night. He's certainly playing outstanding. He's a very good passer. He's a big guy. He's hard to sack. He's a good runner. You know, I think their offensive system and scheme, you know, features what he can do. And obviously, you know, if he broke somebody else's record, that speaks volumes for, you know, the other guy was a really good player in his own right, so it speaks volumes for what he's been able to accomplish and what he's been able to do in his career.
Thanks.
Coach, it looks like that's going to be all for today. Thank you.
All right, thank you.